Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, today I have Barbara Bickham on the line, and she is the founder and general partner over at Trailin VC, and this is part of our Milken Global Conference coverage series where we bring you the best of those that attended and participated in the Milken Global Conference over in Beverly Hills, California. Barbara, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Adam. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on the Milken Conference and be on your show and educate your audience.
Oh, Barbara, I'm excited about this conversation. Overall angle we're taking today is backing the deep tech founders everyone else overlooks. So I'm excited to get into that. But before we do, speaking of the Milken Conference, give me a little bit of the backstory. Have you been in the past? Is this your first year? Where'd all that start? Give me some of the backstory.
So this was actually my fifth year at the Milken Global Conference.
And you're a vet then. You're a professional. Go ahead, please.
I'm kind of a veteran there. They asked me to podcast from there as well, which is awesome. So I did get to talk to some interesting people and also listen to some interesting panels there.
And you got to name drop. What's your show's name? Come on, you got to throw it out. We love you podcasters over here. Mm-hmm.
So the name of my podcast, The Female VC Lab, I did interview Emily Fontaine, the CTO. She's the global investment. Geez, Adam. She's the global VC investment person for IBM. So she's a corporate venture capitalist. So that was a very exciting interview. I also listened to a couple of other I listened to a couple of panels. One was a fintech panel, and one was I actually heard Serena Williams, which was actually super interesting as well. And the other panel I listened to was kind of like, how is the institutional investors thinking about AI?
So 5 years in, I mean, that's amazing. Actually, I think we're tied then. I've been doing it for 5 years now. So 5 years in, I'm sure you cover lots of events, lots of different types of content. What keeps you coming back to Milken?
Milken has a lot of different thought leadership around many different aspects of what's going on in the world because it's the global conference. So they'll have world leaders there. They'll have a lot of the institutional investors there. They'll have a lot of fintechs there. They'll have a lot of governmental items there. So it's very interesting to hear the global viewpoint of what's going on in the world, and where it's a place where many people gather to share their insights and share kind of what's going on globally. And, we're Milken conferences in Beverly Hills, so we're in LA. Sometimes we're a little isolated in the U.S., so it's good to hear other viewpoints and other aspects of what's happening in the world.
Let's switch it up a bit here. So Trailin VC, maybe start by telling us a little bit more about your firm.
So Trailin VC is a fund for diverse deep tech founders. Deep tech in our mind is AI, blockchain, quantum, IoT, Web3. We work with the overlook founders, people that are building, but they're not necessarily in the news all the time, and you don't necessarily see them on CNN or in mainstream media. They're kind of the underlying people, other people building AIs or blockchains or quantum or IoT or Web3. So that's kind of what we look at and we concentrate on.
Take us back in time a little bit here. How did you get into the VC business? Maybe give us a little bit of your background.
For many years, I was a builder. I've been building many systems, some from scratch, some not from scratch. I architected and designed many famous systems early in my career, and I'm actually one of the wireless pioneers in the United States. So during the intersection of that, somebody actually asked me to start an angel group. Barb, you should start this angel group. I said, sure, why not? So I started an angel. Yeah, it sounded good.
Are you the type of person that if we're like, hey, somebody should do it, then maybe Barb would do it? Because I got some things for you.
Yeah. I think so, Adam. I think I'm the one that's like, hey, Barb, do this. But so during the intersection of me kind of building in the wireless space, somebody asked me to do this group, and I said, why not? I'll go ahead and do it. So I started this angel group. I grew it to kind of 450 angels, and then 2008 happened, a few less angels, but that kind of gave me a viewpoint of there is a gap in the market for these overlooked founders. Even then, at that time, I could see there was a gap in the market. So
yeah,
that was kind of the impetus of Trailin's kind of arc.
And so you took that idea and like, where does it go from here? Like, so then how do you get to that point to where you're, raising capital to fund everything else? Like, take us further, but this is interesting.
Well, how do you get to that point? For a while, I was still operating and building, and then some other people came and said, you should really have a fund. And I thought, well, having a fund, that sounds nice in theory, but practically what does that look like? And really a fund to me is an economy of scale way to make an impact on many people at once.
Yeah.
That's how I look at a fund. I mean, clearly you're raising capital to deploy the capital and everyone wants returns, but what does that actually look like practically? And so the fund was really a vehicle for me to help people that aren't normally helped. That's kind of how I look at my fund.
And working with pre-seed founders that are overlooked, like talk to me a little bit about that, and also what you're looking for. I'm curious because again, you're a builder, so when you get when you get into the business, you can tell because you've done it yourself. Like, what are you looking for?
Yes. So what we look for in these pre-seed founders, we kind of do, I call it pre-seed plus. They have to have a little bit of heft on them. What we look for is really twofold. One, can we work with them? Are they coachable and teachable? Do we have the ability to really help them from a customer side? Do we really have the ability to help them from a partnership side? Can we help them with resources? So we look at that. But the second thing that we look at is competition. Who else is in this space that you are helping to conquer? Because your company is just like any other company in our mind, in our viewpoint. OpenAI is no different than, Joe's AI that may be diverse. So we look at it from that viewpoint and we say, if there's someone large like OpenAI or Amazon or one of these very large companies here, then we say, how are you going to position yourself to participate in a marketplace where 80% of the market is taken by someone else? Or is it an emergent market, which in AI's case it is, blockchain is still emergent, IoT less, quantum is emergent. How are you guys playing in these markets that are up and coming and still early so that, you can maximize your revenue, your exit potential, and things of that nature? So we like to look at the competition in this pre-seed market because it is still early. So some of it is future casting as well. Like, how do we see this going far down the road into the future?
What about track record? Are you looking for people that had maybe multiple companies they started in the past or otherwise, or is that kind of like it's a case by case? I'm just curious, to go a step further.
From the actual founder side, if they've had multiple exits, that's great.
Well, of course,
right? Because they actually have been there, done that. But many of the people that we look at don't really have that profile. So, partnering with someone that had a multiple exit, right? If we have advisors like that, that makes sense. But most of our overlooked founders don't have that in their pedigree or their background. So we do have a lot of conversations about institutionalizing your business for exit, whatever that looks like to a founder, because most of these founders have never even thought about that necessarily. And most founders, sometimes they don't in general, but especially our overlooked founders, they don't really think about how does this look like at the end, after the 5 years or 10 years, or, you've been in this for so long, raising this money, building this company, growing this company. What does the end look like? Because there should be an end at some point.
Yeah.
Especially if you're taking venture capital money.
Absolutely. What do you feel that the rest of maybe, speaking from your, the segment that you're focusing on, what do you think the rest of the venture world consistently misses about this group?
I think there are viewpoints and thinking that are missed from this group. So sometimes when you look at the way the problem is being solved, it can be done differently if you look at it differently. I'll give you an example of this, Adam. If you look at all of these data centers being generated and created, I know some alternative people that are thinking about it in a different way. And so those people they can be equally as successful as, the data center creators of now.
Yeah.
But the way they're thinking about it is actually more innovative than just here, let's lay down basically a large warehouse and put a bunch of servers in there and then, hope that we don't have other issues. So because they have a diverse thinking set, they're looking at the way that that's happening in a different way. That's an example. But most of the problems that are solved by Overlook founders or other types of thinkers is usually comes from their own kind of personalized issues. So they may be trying to solve a problem for themselves, and it's like, oh, this happens to apply to many other people. So that's another thing that can happen.
Barbara, last question on my end. So and I'll timestamp this for us. So May 28th, 2026, we're recording this. What excites you right now? Like, it could be in the market, it could be with technology, it could be otherwise. Like, if I'm a fly in your office, Barbara, what excites you?
I mean, I'm an AI girl. So right now I'm using all the AIs. So AI is very
all
exciting.
The AIs, go ahead.
I'm literally using all the AIs. I use them all. So this is timestamped in 2026. So I'm using Claude, I'm using ChatGPT, I'm using Perplexity, I'm using all the AIs. Gemini, I'm using all the AIs. But
I love it.
The thing that's happening and that I'm recognizing by using all these AIs is there won't be one winner here because they all have multiple different things that you can do with all these different AIs. So the question becomes, how can you use AI to be more creative? So I've also been building things for myself. So I've entered into some hackathons, which is a good way to learn AI if you want to learn AI. Go do a hackathon. And I've been building things with AI for these hackathons and then entering into the hackathon, which is kind of cool. So as the builder, you can see, like, how can I do a practical use case of AI? How can I use AI in a daily way, which I am doing now? And then also, how can I create something with AI? So it's a good learning tool in order to be able to see, even when someone comes to you as a founder, like, hey, I vibe coded this or I created this. Great. Now I have a clearer understanding of what that potentially could be as well.
I love this. Barbara, you're wonderful. A builder has to keep building.
Adam.
You might be writing checks, but you're still building. You'll never stop. I love it.
I don't think I'll ever stop building, at least for myself.
I know. That's what I mean. I know. I love it. I can tell you light up. You're excited. I'm like, wait. You're like, I'm building stuff for hackathons. I love this. So this has been an absolute pleasure, Barbara. If somebody's listening or watching this, if they want to follow up, if they want to learn more about Trailing VC, or of course your podcast as well, like, how do people tap into your ecosystem?
All right. So Trailing VC, just go to trailingvc.com, the website, TRAILYNVC.com. My podcast is the Female VC Lab, FEMALE VC Lab, all one word.com. And then if you want to follow along with me, I'm on LinkedIn, Barbara Bickham. That's my
Amazing.
LinkedIn.
For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me right. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on this journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Barbara, thanks so much again for coming on.
Thanks so much, Adam. Appreciate it.